Charles and I have the opportunity to interview Kevin Foster, an on-campus expert, and Brandyn Ott, the director of Intramural Sports, to learn more about getting involved on campus and staying active. Brandyn, welcome to our podcast and our show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Haley, for the introduction to kind of let y'all know what this is. Remember, this is Let's Figure This Out, the podcast, and this episode is called Making Connections Virtually. So speaking with Brandyn Ott, we're going to talk a little bit about intramural sports and club sports. Let's start off, can you tell a little bit about yourself, Brandyn, and your day-to-day?
Yeah, so a little bit about myself here at IEP Student Co-op. So I've been with the Student Co-op for 6 years now, so I've been in charge of the campus rec. So day-to-day operations for me is obviously overseeing our facilities, the fitness center, the gymnasium, group fitness classes, and also intramural sports. So intramural sports is a big thing here at IEP, especially before obviously the pandemic. What a normal intramural schedule would look like before the pandemic would be like, let's say in the fall, our big sport is basketball. So we do a basketball league for men's, and we do a tournament for the women. Then vice versa in the spring, we do the women's league. Then we do a 3-on-3 tournament for the men. Another top one is flag football. We do 4-on-4 flag football and 7-on-7 flag football. Co-rec volleyball is a big one for us. That's core 3. Then our fourth big one is soccer. We do indoor soccer and outdoor soccer. On top of those 4 big sports, we also do dodgeball tournaments, cornhole tournaments, free throw tournaments, and some little one-day events. Now, since the pandemic started, we had to go virtual. So we do esports tournaments. Some of our big ones is NBA 2K, Madden, NHL. We're going to try to do some new ones this year. Call of Duty Warzone, UFC. We're going to try to do a chess tournament virtually. And we also do virtually every year is a March Madness bracket challenge. So that's a little bit about what we do for intramural schedules. I'd be happy to answer other questions as well.
Yeah, so would you just be able to touch a little bit about the difference between intramural club sports and then also collegiate sports?
Yes, so we'll just go down the line. We'll start with intramurals. So intramurals is basically a way for students to come together and have fun while playing sports. So let's take basketball, for example, for how it works here at IEP. So if you want to play in our basketball league, what you have to do is a captain for whatever team. So let's say us 3 want to join a team. So I will create the team on imleagues.com/IEP through my IEP email. Then I can either add people to my team or other people can request to be on my team. Then a team is formed. After the deadline for registration closes, I create the league or the tournament. Then all the captains come together for each team, and we discuss how the league or the tournament's going to run. And then they're responsible for providing their teammates the roles and the schedule. So how intramurals works, it's up to the team. They don't need to practice at all. They can just show up on the day of the game and play. So it's competitive, but it's fun, and you don't have to practice or anything like that. Club sports, so how that works, it depends on the university, but it's not regulated by the NCAA. So it's they compete competitively. It's student run, and they also are paid through student activity fee. So how that works with club sports is, obviously I hit on it, they compete competitively, so they do actually meet for practices, and they travel for games and all that type of stuff, and they play other schools. Then collegiate sports is your varsity sport on college campuses. So they're regulated by the NCAA. They play teams in their conference, and they play nationally as well. So I hope I hit on that kind of well for you guys.
To kind of expand on our goal, talking with you is the opportunity for us to express, because we're talking about making connections virtually. So talking with you is opportunity of understanding how to relieve stress more physically. That's with sports, that's with yoga. That's why we want to learn more about intramurals and learn more about club sports. So for you working there day to day and seeing these events, what are the biggest things you feel students are taking away from intramurals and take away from the time they actually spend in their facilities?
I think intramurals is a big key for college kids on campus to get involved with. It's an easy way to meet new people, especially if you're a freshman. Just showing up, trying to get onto an intramural team. You're connecting with others instead of staying in your dorm room. And I have seen, since I've been here for 6 years, I've seen students that started playing in intramurals as a freshman, and they keep on playing holy till they're a senior. They create all these new friendships with others. And it's also, like you said just a little bit ago, it's a way to stay active physically. And it's a stress reliever too. It gets yourself away from the books and distracts you from your day-to-day process every day at school.
Yeah, so you've watched some freshmen and other students grow from they've joined as soon as they got here, and then they just stick with it, and then you've kind of watched them grow and get more involved, and that's really cool. And you don't have to be a freshman to join. Like you can be any level, right? You can just whenever you want to join, you can join, and then if it's too much, you can just pop out whenever. Is that correct?
Yep, yeah, that's correct. That's the nice thing about intramurals. It's competitive, then it's not competitive in a way. Some people take it really serious. Some people, it's just a way for them to get away from the books, come play a game against others, and create these friendships. And they don't have to worry about practicing for the sport and all that type of stuff. Where club sports and collegiate sports, they have that. They go from school, from classes, right to practice. Then it's reviewing film and all that type of stuff. Where intramurals is just stress-free way to be competitive in sports and have a good time with friends.
How popular are intramural sports, and how many like new students are joining, and older students joining as well? So how popular is it, the whole thing?
Okay, so I would say it's very popular back before the pandemic. Obviously, right now with trying to get people involved virtually through esports and that type of stuff, it's very difficult. But before the pandemic, it's very popular. It's harder to get the word out to freshmen. It seems where freshmen struggle figuring out like about intramural sports. So I'd like to hit on that like harder once we get back to normal. But I would say more so sophomores and juniors start to get involved. Seniors always have been in it. So our chunk of our numbers are probably sophomores, juniors, and seniors. We do get freshmen that join time to time. It's just for freshmen, it's harder to create a team because they're still figuring out who they can connect with and stuff. That's why we do some individual sports on our schedule for it. That way, freshmen can compete, and that's a way for them to meet other people at these individual tournaments. So I would say sophomore, juniors, and seniors are the chunk of intramural sports, but we do have freshmen time to time.
I have to say for myself, I have taken time out to do intramural sports. I have to say it's fun, and there's a lot of moments. There's the funny ones, there's the serious ones. There's times where you feel like you're actually flowing and you know, you're feeling within the sport. Is there any moment you're directing or refereeing a game where you saw something like so amazing or just something so funny? Can you kind of reiterate that to us?
Yeah, so I will talk about probably our biggest sport here at IEP with intramurals is our men's basketball league. We have had a lot of teams sign up for that year in and year out, and one year we even had 30 teams sign up for it. So it's a big deal here at IEP. So what I'll say about it is, once we get to the playoffs for our men's basketball league, we actually hire PIAA referees to come in to ref our games. So usually all of our games are just refereed by your normal college student, the person you'll see in your classes day to day. But once we get to the playoffs, we hire PIAA referees. So it gives it that atmosphere where these kids that are playing till like they're back in high school if they competed competitively in high school. And we do get a lot of fans in there. So once we get to the championship, the atmosphere picks up and it feels like an actually high school college game. So it's cool to see that, and these kids treat it like that. So it's nice to see the kids are competing and also having fun at the end of the day.
Brandyn, thank you so much for letting us interview you today about all of these things you can do on campus and about all the sports that we have. And for our viewers at home that are watching, joining intramural sports and club sports is just a great way to get involved as soon as you get here, great way to meet friends, and just a great way to stay fit as well. So even if you're not interested in it, you can still join, you can watch the games. It's a really great experience. Brandyn, thank you again for letting us interview you.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to say real fast before I get off. Anybody who wants to sign up for Intramural Sports, our schedules are located on our social media, on Twitter and Instagram at IUP Campus Rec. And the way for you to register, if you're a new student or freshman, or if you're a junior and never played intramural sports, you go to imleagues.com/IUP, and you create an account using your IUP email, and then you need a verified account. And sometimes IMLeague's email goes to your junk mail, so if you ever have a problem with that, check your junk mail. But if you ever have a question, anybody feel free to email me at gqcr@iup.edu or b.p.ott@iup.edu, and I'll be happy to help you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you guys have a great day.
You too.